Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Multi-Character Listener by me, so let's get into it. Midoriya Izuku. Midoriya didn't know what he thought about you, coming to his room in the middle of the night, and maybe deciding to sleep together. Well, he didn't know what he thought about it because he was shy, and he got some other implications before he told him that it was just a sleepover, nothing more, nothing less. But he knew the rules, and he told him you wouldn't get caught. Of course, things didn't always go your way. Because while you wrapped your arms around him and gave him a kiss on the cheek, Midoriya found himself getting distracted. And the two of you were soon just getting busy with your endeavor, with you sitting on his lap, and your arms wrapping around him, hands in his hair, as you bent down to give him a soft kiss that soon turned into two of you making out. And soon, well, things were bound to get a little bit more intense than that. And someone had knocked on your door, cutting you right off. Midoriya, I'm hearing something from your room. It's quite late at night. Do you need some help? You heard Ida outside, and you panicked, blushing brightly, trying to hide under the covers, as Midoriya told Ida to come in, because he was probably going to let himself in otherwise. He would always have that kind of insistence that Midoriya just didn't know how to make him just call it off. And then he had noticed you, telling him that there was certainly something underneath those covers. Perhaps they weren't so subtle, and Midoriya seemed ashamed as Ida lifted the blanket and found you underneath. He gave him a scornful look, crossing his arms. Ida, please, don't tell anyone about this. I don't want Mr. Aizawa to know. He begs him, and Ida gives you too a scornful look, telling you to go back to your own room, and that you will keep his mouth shut about it. And although it does cut out your makeout session, and perhaps you wanted to do something more than that, and sleep over in his own room, you were just quite glad that nobody knew besides him, and that Ida would keep your secret. Todoroki Shoto. Todoroki wasn't usually one to, well, he wasn't one to encourage this, breaking the rules and doing things that you weren't supposed to in broad daylight. The two of you were sitting on the couch in the common room, and it was too early for anyone to be awake. And maybe that's why you got a little bit ahead of yourselves. And you and Todoroki got a little bit too close to each other. Perhaps more than so you would like when other people were around to see. But no one else was around. And that's why you started making out right there and then. Not expecting anyone to show up this early. It was literally 5 in the morning. Not even Ida would wake up until half an hour later. You still had 10 minutes to do whatever you wanted to do. So, when you heard some footsteps, the two of you were startled, but it was too late. Mina had seen you. Of all people. Mina! Why would you wake up that early? You had no idea. But it appears from her eyes she hadn't slept because she kept rubbing them over and over. And then... So this is real. Oh my lord. Todoroki, I never knew you were that. Enough. Enough, Mina, please. He begs her, and she laughs, chuckling, as she sees the way that he was blushing brightly, hiding his face in his hands. You were blushing as well, but you and Mina were close friends, so you only stroked his hair, telling him that you make sure that Mina keeps your secret. And she does. Of course, on the condition that he buys her and her friends a ticket to a concert. And, well, Todoroki never felt better using his dad's money for something like this. After all, he loved to spend it, seeing the angry look on Endeavor's face whenever he did. and this would be a very worthwhile use. Not only did he make them happy, but he also saved himself a lot of trouble. Bakugou Katsuki. Katsuki was always careful, and it would be difficult for him to get caught, except perhaps once he let his guard down for once. His luck truly was not on his side, because that's exactly what he had done. He was trying his best to take a break and perhaps be wholesome with you in a sense. The two of you were cooking breakfast, and no one else was around in the kitchen. It would be just the two of you, and usually no one wanted to help anyway. For the most part, it was you and Katsuki, and that's why his arm snaked around your waist, pulling you against him, and he tilted his head to leave a soft kiss on your lips that soon turned into something much more intense than that. And soon, you were being seated on the kitchen counter, with his arms wrapped around you, and your own around his neck, and the two of you were making out, until you heard a ribbit, because Tsuyu was standing behind you. Lion, just what is going on? She says, not really sure how to take in the situation. And you're blushing brightly, and so is Katsuki. The two of you not really sure how to act. But she shakes her head, letting out a soft sigh. I'll be heading out. If you need my help, you can just tell me. I'll forget I ever saw this. You're quite glad for that. Suyu was not the teasing type, and she certainly was not the type to gossip. So, considering most possibilities, you got off real lucky. And you didn't want it any other way, because Katsuki already seems to be regretting this. However, that did not mean that you were not going to continue making dinner and look at him, and how hot he looked like when he was doing that. And later on, you would happen to have some convenient free time in your dorm room. Just perfect to continue your makeout session that you had abandoned a couple hours ago in that kitchen. After all, Katsuki loved to tie up loose ends, and he certainly was not letting anything go loose here.